Preparation model paper 28. I'm Anand Shankar Reddy, PhD plant pathology. 101 example of double stranded DNA. So there are many viruses whose genome is composed of double stranded DNA. For example, we can take cauliflower mosaic virus or cauliflower, right? And wound tumor viruses, and so there are various uh, viruses are there, but the best example is cauliflower mosaic virus is the best example. So name the book which was written by Vanderplank. So Vanderplank wrote 5 books. Plant disease epidemics and control 63, plant disease resistance in plant 68, principles of infection 75, genetics and molecular basis of plant pathogenesis 78, host pathogen interaction of plant disease, which was published in 1982. So based on the options where we must answer. So the thing is, the most famous book when it comes to the books which was written by J. Vanderplank is Plant Disease Epidemics and Control. Out of all the books which he wrote, this Plant Disease Epidemics and Control is the very famous book, and he become very largely famous for this plant disease epidemics and control. So but I suggest you to, based on the options, you guys please go through, but always majority of the time this option only will be there, plant disease epidemics and control. So the Puccinia pathway was written by. So Puccinia pathway was not written by, given by. Instead of written by, it's given by, right? Nagarajan and Joshi. Nagarajan and Joshi, which given the Puccinia pathway. So Indian stem rest rules was given by Nagarajan and Singh 1975, whereas Puccinia pathway was given by Nagarajan and Joshi. So expand AUDPC. AUDPC means area under disease progress curve. So generally we can call it as AUDPC, area under disease progress curve. So compound interest disease or polycyclic disease produces a curve. So to understand this, let's go through. There are monocyclic diseases, polycyclic and polyetic. Monocyclic diseases, it will produce a saturation curve. Monocyclic diseases, saturation curve. Examples are smuts, root rots and wilts. Polycyclic diseases produces a sigmoid curve or S-shaped curve. We can take an example of powdery mildews, rust, leaf spots, and all airborne kind of disease, and includes lead blight of potato and rice blast as well. And we can take a polyetic diseases which produces bimodal curve. CTC, Dutch elm disease, fungal vascular wilts, and mycoplasma yellosis are the general examples. So here what they asked is compound interest diseases. So here monocyclic diseases are called as simple interest diseases. Polycyclic diseases are also called as compound interest diseases. Here I have mentioned, right? So compound interest diseases are polycyclic, which produces a curve called sigmoid curve or S-shaped curve. The next one is first computer stimulation model. The first computer stimulation model is EPIDEM. So which meant for early blight of potato and tomato, I think, EPIDEM. The next one is Van Everdingen rules or Dutch rules are applicable for. So the Van Everdingen rules or Dutch rules are applicable or especially meant for lead blight of potato, which is caused by Phytophthora infestans. Van Everdingen rules, Dutch rules, Iris rules, Borke rules, all the rules are applicable for lead blight of potato only. And but when it comes to Mills rules are applicable for apple scab. So apple scab, the rules applicable are Mills rules. Okay, it's a kind of predictions, a kind of prediction based on some kind of weather parameters or based on their observations. They will tell some rules. So if it follows the same rules, there might be a chance of appearance of the particular disease, whatever exactly it is developed for. So the next one is a trap crop for Warbanki. So there are lots of trap crops. Are generally a flaxseed or linseed is generally considered as a trap crop for Warbanki. It's a complete stem parasite. So complete stem parasite is a Cuscuta. I will tell you the order: CLOS, Cuscuta loranthus warbanki striga. So Cuscuta is a complete stem parasite. Loranthus partial stem parasite. Warbanki complete root parasite. Striga partial root parasite. So it's a CLOS. You remember? Just imagine you are going for class. So class. So instead of class, you can remember it as a class. You can remember class. So starts with a complete stem, partial stem, complete root, partial root, and match with this order CLOS, Cuscuta, Loranthus, Warbanki, and Striga. You will get the answers. Yes, I think the next questions are partial stem parasite, complete root parasite, partial root parasite. To have a better understanding, let's go through here. So complete root parasite, Cuscuta, partial stem parasite, Loranthus, as complete stem parasite Cuscuta, partial stem parasite Loranthus, complete root parasite Varavanki, partial root parasite Striga. So on the right side I have given other names as well. Cuscuta is otherwise called as golden vein, dodder, hellvine, hairweed, lovevine, amarbel. These are all the other names. Loranthus is otherwise called as dendroptera, giant minslet of Banda. Varavanki is otherwise known as broom rape or tokra. Striga is commonly called as witchweed. The next one is which phanerogamic parasites having a wide host range. They are asking wide host range. For generally, Cuscuta is having the wide host range around. It will infect more than 200 plus species, I believe. Definitely, it's 200 plus species only. This Cuscuta campestris, generally Cuscuta species, we can say. Cuscuta can absorb nutrients through not only Cuscuta, but all the phanerogamic plant parasites absorb nutrients through Hostoria. To confuse us, they will mention only one, maybe Cuscuta or Loranthus, just to make us confuse. So whatever the phanerogamic plant parasites that they are giving, all phanerogamic plant parasites absorb nutrients through Hostoria only. Okay. The next one, hen and chicken disorder of grapes is due to boron deficiency. Hen and chicken disorder of grapes is boron deficiency. Heart rot of sugar beet, again same boron deficiency. Blossom end rot of tomato, calcium deficiency. Pala blight of sugarcane, manganese deficiency. Grey speck of oats, zinc deficiency. So to have a better understanding about various other kinds of deficiencies, we have already published the video in phanerogamic plant parasites and nutritional disorders all put together. We will paste in the comment section, just in the section comment below. So just please go through and refer that sections as well before going through this all the videos. White tip of maize is caused by, so white tip of maize is generally a zinc deficiency again. So before we have mentioned the gray speck of oats, right? So that probably manganese deficiency. Okay, please make it right. It's a manganese deficiency. The white tip of maize is zinc deficiency. Okay, then DIP, Destructive Insect and Pest Act, was passed in the year. So generally there are a couple of acts are here. 1912, the Federal Quarantine Act in USA was passed in 1912. The same act, the name changed to DIP, Destructive Insect and Pest Act, and passed in the year India 1914. The next one, Directorate of Plant Quarantine Act 1946, Seed Act 1966, Insecticide Act 1968, Seed Rules 1968, Insecticide Rules 1971, 1972 Federal Environmental Pesticide Act 83, Seed Order, 1996 Federal Quality Product Act, 2001 Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Right Act, and 2002 finally National Seed Policy. So these are all the couple of acts and policies. So we may expect one or two questions from such kind of rules and regulations. Mostly the questions fall on this four: Seed Act, Insecticide Act, Seed Rules, Insecticide Rules. Yes, okay. The Seed Act was passed in the year, again same, Seed Act was passed in the year 1966. Insecticide Act was passed in the year 1968. Coffee rust introduced in India from, so it is believed that coffee rust is introduced into India from Sri Lanka around 1869. Okay. Then what is the DPPQS? DPPQS stands for Directorate of Plant Protection, Quarantine and Storage, which was started in 1946. All plant quarantine under control of DPPQS, located at Faridabad, Haryana. What is EPO? EPO means European and Mediterranean Plant Production Organization. I think this question was asked in 2019 probably. EPO means European and Mediterranean Plant Production Organization. What is the composition of chestnut compound? So these are all our copper fungicides like Bodomycere, Burgundy Micere, chestnut compound, Chobetia paste. All the things are copper fungicides. Okay. So here the composition of chestnut compound is 2:11. 2 parts of copper sulfate and 11 parts of ammonium carbonate. That gives you chestnut compound. Who introduced the first systemic fungicide? The first systemic fungicide, carboxin and oxycarboxin, which belonging to oxazotine group of fungicide, was first introduced by Van Schemling and Marshall Kolka in the year 1966. You just remember the Seed Act. Whenever the Seed Act is passed, and the same year only, world's first systemic fungicide was discovered by Van Schemling and Marshall Kolka. That was the oxazotine group of fungicide, carboxin and oxycarboxin. L form of bacteria was discovered by. So L form means L form of bacteria was actually discovered by Kleiniberger Nobel. So they named as L-Farm because they were working in an institute called Lister Institute. Joseph Lister, he is also a very famous microbiologist, and I think he's also Nobel laureate probably. I'm not sure. But Joseph Lister is a very famous microbiologist that I can say. They are working on the Lister Institute. That's why to honor the Lister, they just named it as L-Farm of bacteria. That was discovered by Kleiniberger Nobel, probably 1935, I think, 35 only. These are all a couple of copper fungicides. That's now I told you, right? Bodo Mitchell, developed by PMA Milad 1880 to 1885. 1:1:100. 1 kilogram of copper sulfate, 1 kilogram of lime, 100 liters of water. Used for the management of grapes, downy mildew, and blights of anthracnose. And Bodo paste, uh, the same 1:1:100 only. Instead of 100 liters of water, we are using 10 liters of water here to make it as a paste, generally used for wounds, citrus gummosis, coconut stem bleeding, such kind of diseases. Burgundy mixture. So burgundy mixture is also known as soda borax, also known as Mason lime. It's a very important. Developed by Mason 1887. Composition is 1:1:100 only. So here instead of lime, we are using sodium carbonate in burgundy mixture. So lime is used in Bodo mixture. Instead of lime, sodium carbonate is used in burgundy mixture. I can repeat: 1 kilogram of copper sulfate, 1 kilogram of sodium carbonate, and 100 liters of water. That gives you burgundy mixture or soda borax, generally used for recommended for stem bleeding of coconut, which is caused by Chalra paradoxa, and chestnut compound, which is developed by Beverly 1921. The composition is 2:11. Just now we discussed, right? 2 parts of copper sulfate and 11 parts of ammonium carbonate, used for damping of disease. Chauvet TFS, developed by Singh 1942. 800 grams of copper carbonate, 800 grams of red lead, and 1 liter of linolenic oil or linseed oil can be recommended. Generally used for pink disease of rubber, which is caused by Cottiseum salmonicolor, or stem canker, which is caused by Monochyta mali of apple and pear. The next one, fungicide with symplastic movement. So generally fungicide like phosphatal aluminum metaloxyl having the symplastic movement. Fungicide used as a plant defense activator. Again metaloxyl we can recommend as a plant defense activator. First commercial organic product. So the first organic commercial product is Uspulam, I think. Uspulam, which was developed by Bayer company in 1915. Who first used Bodo mixture in India? Lawrence, around in the period of 1914, he first used this Bodo mixture around groundnut thickly spots, probably groundnut thickly spot. But the person who used it is Lawrence in 1914, that is for sure. Who wrote a Silent Spring? So Silent Spring was written by Rachel Carson, and we can also say she is the one of the biggest savior of our planet Earth, and I will tell you why. She's actually a marine biologist. Probably she born at 1907. I'm not sure. Probably died at 1964. Anyway, at 1955 she joined in an some kind of government post where she got an opportunity to work on various kinds of marine organisms like fishes or aquatic animals. And she identified in 1955 many aquatic animals are dying without reason. Nobody knows what exactly going on, and she worked on it, and she finally come to a conclusion around 1960s that DDT, so it is insecticide, so the DDT was the reason for killing of all these aquatic animals, which is highly toxic. And she wrote a book called Silent Spring, which was published on September 27, 1962, which was a completely revolutionized book, which changed the fate of many policies and all the stuff, and also USA. And initially nobody believed it, and she got died somehow in 1964 because of breast cancer. 1970 everyone started realizing at what Rachel Carson tried to tell us. So then USA passed in some kind of acts or pesticide acts. 1972 finally DDT was banned, and she got presidential medal in 1994. Anyway, she died in 1964 itself, right? And she have done the tremendous work for the humanity, because not only insecticide, you can take a couple of fungicides, some kind of lots of chemicals that are slowly killing us. You can take lots of diseases we are getting directly or indirectly because of pesticides. We too know very well that directly or indirectly we are consuming 0.001 grams of chemical every single day, but we couldn't able to stop it because this is the reality what we know, right? But anyway, Let's come to the point. The Silent Spring book was written by Rachel Carson, which was published in 1962 September 27. And if time permits, please go through the book. But the book is a very complex one. We cannot understand because in fact, I read the book. What I understood is just 10-15%. But the book is really fantastic book. The way she have done the research, the way she have tried to wake up all the humanity. To save the earth from pesticides and various other kinds of things. That was really amazing. Just a silly to this Rachel Carson. Anyway, the next one is who invented Kittelson killer. So Kittelson killer was invented by Kittelson. That's why the name itself is called as Kittelson killer. So captain is generally considered as Kittelson killer, which was invented in the year 1952. Year is also important. Probably 2019 this question was asked. Year asked, right? Okay, 1952. Captain is considered as Kittelson killer, which was invented by Kittelson. Book written by Y.L. Neane. Y.L. Neane, he wrote a book called Fungicides in Plant Disease Control. It's a very famous book. Y.L. Neane and P.N. Taplier. Now 4th edition is running up, I think. Y.L. Neane wrote a book, very famous book, Fungicides in Plant Disease Control. Father of Biocontrol Agent in India. Generally, father of Biocontrol Agent means we can consider S.D. Garrett, Stephens Dennis Garrett, right? But in India, Mukhopadhyay, A.N. Mukhopadhyay is considered father of Biocontrol Agent in India. First registered mycoherbicide. So first mycoherbicide means Coligo. First registered mycoherbicide means Divine, D-E-V-I-N-E. The father of biocontrol agent. Just now I told you S.D. Garrett. See, our plant pathologists are generally considered as S.D. Garrett as father of biocontrol agent. But when it comes to entomology people, they do consider Valentine Relay probably. He is considered father of biocontrol agent for them. For us, S.D. Garrett. Okay, and S.D. Garrett was renowned for the working on wheat take all disease, that is Gaunomasis graminis stratici. The disease was effectively controlled by using a biocontrol agent Pseudomonas fluorescens. Bacteriocin produced by Escherichia coli, colicins. Mode of action of carboxin and oxycarboxin. So this carboxin oxycarboxin mode of action is a succinase or succinate dehydrogenase inhibitor. Generally we can call as a respiration inhibitor. So mode of action of metaloxyl, fungal nucleic acid biosynthesis. Mode of action of benzimidazole, it inhibits a beta tubulin biosynthesis. So this mode of actions also in the recent years it gaining importance, and we must expect at least 1 or 2 questions from this mode of actions. Anyway, I will on the next slide probably I may mention a couple of important fungicides along with the mode of actions. We'll see there. And biocontrol agent for rust, the best biocontrol agent for rust is Darluca-Pilum. Okay, biocontrol agent for cucurbits powdery mildew, Telesiopsis. Telesiopsis general recommended for this cucurbits powdery mildew. So Galtrol trade name, no gal trade name. So this Agrobacterium radiobacter K84 strain is generally sold with the trade name of Galtrol. Nogal is Agrobacterium K1026 Nogal. So Dagger G is the name of Pseudomonas fluorescens is the trade name of fluorescens. The trade name is Dagger G. So divine mycoherbicide used for the control of which weed? So what kind of weed they're asking? Milkweed. So we can also call as milkweed, wineweed. The scientific name is Morinia odorata. Various kinds of bioherbicides we have mentioned in the biocontrol section. Please go through. So these are a couple of important fungicides along with the mode of actions. Anyway, I'll go fast a little bit. Azoxystrobin and trifloxystrobin, mitochondrial electron inhibitor, benomyl, mitosis and cell division inhibitor, benzimidazole inhibits beta tubulin biosynthesis, captan inactivates the enzyme through interfere with the NH2 and SH groups, carbendazim, benomyl and thiobendazole. There are chitin and nucleic acid biosynthesis, carboxin and oxycarboxin, world's first systemic fungicide which was developed by Van Schemling and Marshall Colgan in 1966, which inhibits interfere with electron transport, and SDHA, succinate dehydrogenase inhibitor, that is respiration inhibitor, right? Chloramphenicol, which is actually it inhibits 15 ribosome function, cyclohexamide protein synthesis inhibitor, and edifenphos phospholipid biosynthesis, erythromycin 50S ribosome function inhibiting, phosphatyl aluminum spore germination, it inhibits spore germination and penetration of pathogen. And hexagonazole, SBI sterile biosynthesis inhibitor, iprodin, lipid and membrane biosynthesis inhibitor, mancozeb denaturation of enzymes and protein, metaloxyl disturbs fungal nucleic acid biosynthesis, important, penicillin inhibits the synthesis of murin, polymyxin G destroys the cytoplasmic membrane, streptomycin, the world's first broad spectrum antibiotic, right, inhibits 13S ribosome function. We can also call it as ribosome function. Okay, tetracycline inhibits binding of amino acid tRNA to ribosomes, thiophanate and thiophanate methyl, mitosis and cell division inhibitor. Triazole inhibits sterile biosynthesis, tricyclazole melon biosynthesis, and a tridamorph sterile biosynthesis inhibitor. SDHA means succinase dehydrogenase inhibitor, DMI means dimethylase inhibitor, SBI means sterile biosynthesis inhibitor. So just the short form is okay. Then next one is the scientific name of North Joint Witchweed. I think just now we before we have said, right. That is milkweed, vineweed is Morini adorata. North Joint Witchweed generally Ashinima virginica. That is northern joint witchweed. Sorry, the first commercially available biocontrol agent for butterata of pines. So Penniphora gigantea or Plebeiopsis gigantea is generally considered as the first biocontrol agent against this butterata of pines, which caused by heterobasidium anosum. First plant defense activator generally we can consider as ActiGuard CGA245704. I repeat, ActiGuard CGA245704. Biological control of plant pathogens. So okay, the biological control of plant pathology book was written by Baker and Cook in 1983. It's a very famous book. Biocontrol or biological control of plant pathology book was written by Baker and Cook 1983. Sugarcane ratoon stunting is caused by Livesonia xylem subspecies xylem. So previously it is called as Clavibacter xylem subspecies xylem. Now the name changed to Livesonia xylem subspecies xylem, which is mainly transmitted by sets. Citrus greening is caused by. So citrus greening is caused by Candidatus Liberibacter asiaticus, which is transmitted by psyllids. So the scientific name of psyllids is Diaphorina citri. So little leaf of brinjal, or we can also call it as eggplant, is generally caused by Phytoplasma, and it is transmitted by leafhopers Hishimonas picetis. Sesamum phyllodes is also caused by Phytoplasma, but it is transmitted by again leafhopper only, Vorocious albicinctus. Majority of the Phytoplasmal and spiroplasmal diseases are transmitted by leafhoppers only. And among the leafhoppers transmitting Phytoplasmal disease, these two are very important. Little leaf of brinjal, which is transmitted by Hishimonas picetis, and Sesamum phyllodes, which is transmitted by Vorocious albicinctus. Pierce disease of grapevine is caused by Xylella fastidiosa, and it is transmitted by glassy winged sharpshooter Homolodesca coagulata. Now the name changed to Homolodesca vitripennis. So that is the Pierce disease of grapevine. And who coined the who the term ELISA was coined by? ELISA means enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. It was actually coined by Peter Perlman and Evangel in 1971 probably, but the technique was developed by Clark and Adams only. But the term was given by Peter Perlman and Eva Evangel, I think so, in 1971. These are various mycoherbicide products, and they are isolated from target with all those things that I have given here. Coligo, isolated from Colotrotum gliospores pharma species Arginame, that is which targets giant witchweed, Echinima virginica. The crops mainly we can see this weed is rice and sorghum. Divine, Padaptera palmivora, milkweed, vineweed, Morini adorata, citrus orchards. Cassette, Alternaria cassia, Jimson wheat or sickle pod wheat, which is scientific name is Datura stramonium, soybean and peanut, bimol, Colotrotum gliospores phalva species Malway, mallow dwarf roundweed, Malva pusilla, wheat, flaxseed and lentil, Velgo, Colotrotum cocoides, valvet leaf, Abdullan theophrasti, Labova 1 and 2, Colotrotum gliospores pharma species Cascute and Colotrotum gliospores, which actually targets a dodder and elk silk hikia. And last one is stump out cylindrobasium leaf, which actually targets Australian wattle. So these are all the different bioherbicide products, and their where actually they isolated from what actually it targets. So this table is very important. We might have seen a couple of questions from this table, right? So please go through this. The next one is ELISA technique used for the detection of all the plant pathogens except. So generally ELISA can be recommended for almost all kinds of plant pathogens, viruses, except viroids. So except viroids, we can recommend this ELISA for almost all kinds of plant pathogens, especially viruses. Viroids cannot be detected by using ELISA. Substrate used in ELISA. So I think we have might have discussed. So ELISA plate is generally made up of polystyrene plate, but when it comes to substrate used in ELISA, two kinds of substrate we can see: PNPP, polynitrophenyl phosphate, and alkaline phosphate. These are the two kinds of substrates. So the most recommended one is the para-nitrophenyl phosphate, that is can be recommended. The term hybridoma technology was first given by. So term hybridoma technology was given by Hargenberg. And the next one is the hybridoma technology was developed by, we might have discussed this. Hybridoma technology was actually developed by Kohler and Milst in 1984. The medium used for hybridoma technology for culturing of monoclonal antibodies is, so there is a medium, however, substrate used in ELISA. There is a medium used in hybridoma technology that is called HAT medium, hypoxanthine aminopterin thymidine. I repeat, HAT, hypoxanthine aminopterin thymidine. Hypoxanthine aminopterin thymidine is the medium used in hybridoma technology. How many nucleotides are present in TMV? So TMV contains 6,400 nucleotides, 158 amino acids and 2,130 protein subunits. But the nucleotides are 6,400. What is the most commonly occurring virus infecting orchards worldwide? So there is a virus called ORSV, odontoglossum ring spot virus. Odontoglossum ring spot virus, which are given here. Odontoglossum ring spot virus is the most commonly occurring virus in orchards. So this virus is actually transmitted by sap transmission or mechanical transmission. So TMV resistant gene. So TMV resistant gene is N1. N1 is the TMV resistant gene. Flax rust L6, such kind of resistant genes we might have saw earlier. How many capsid units are present in TMV? So TMV contains 2,130, just now I told you, right? 2,130, 158 nucleotides and 6,400, 158 amino acids, 2,130 capsomer subunits and 6,400 nucleotides. If you see here, this is a complete outlay about the ELISA. The most extremely sensitive technique used for the detection of plant viruses is ELISA. What is the enzyme used in ELISA? Is horseradish peroxidase and alkaline phosphatase. What is the substrate used in ELISA? Para-nitrophenyl phosphate and TMB, trimethyl benzidine. So I think in previous they have substrate, right? So substrate is para-nitrophenyl phosphate and TMP, not alkaline phosphatase. Horseradish peroxidase and alkaline phosphatase are the enzymes used in. I thought that's an enzyme. Anyway, they asked a substrate in the previous slide. So substrate used in ELISA is the para-nitrophenyl phosphate only, not alkaline phosphatase. Alkaline phosphatase is actually enzyme. Okay, para-nitrophenyl phosphate along with the TMB 3355 trimethyl benzidine. This is can be used. So who coined the term ELISA? Eva Evangel and Peter Palman, 1971. Well plate or microplate of ELISA is invented by Guy Tuxi, 1951. Sensitivity of ELISA is 1 to 10 nanogram. Sensitivity of PCR is 1 to 10 picogram. Plate used in ELISA plate. So what is the kind of plate used in? Polystyrene plate. So most sensitive technique for the detection of plant pathogen, again ELISA only. Number of wells is present is 96 and each well is pore size is of 0.4 micrometer or microliter actually it's supposed to be. The next one is what is the first recognized plant virus in the world? TMV. First sap transmissible virus, TMV. First transmissible nature of plant virus has been proved on in TMV only. Sap transmission was first proved on TMV. The term virus is coined by Bijernek in which plant virus? TMV only. What is the first plant virus to be quantified? Again it's a TMV. Local lesion assay technique proved on which plant virus? TMV. What is the first plant virus to be isolated in a crystal form? Again it's a TMV only. So all these questions from 171 to 177 it's a TMV only. First recognized plant virus, sap transmissible plant virus. So first nature of transmissible nature of plant virus is proved in the term virus was coined by Bijernek, the first is TMV only. First purified virus TMV only. Local lesion assay was developed by Holmes, that is in TMV only. First plant virus to be isolated in crystal form is also TMV. So all the answers are TMV only. So what is the autocatalytic protein? That was virus is an autocatalytic protein that was given by. So autocatalytic protein means having both the properties of living and non-living. So such properties are known as autocatalytic. Auto means it automatically can come into living form and non-living form. So the alternates. So W.M. Stanley, the man who crystallized this tobacco mosaic virus. The next one is monograph on further studies on serial rust in India was published by K.C. Mehta. In the 2 volumes are there. First volume 1940, second volume 1952. So further studies on serial rust in India. Onion smudge is caused by Coltrotrichum circinens. Coltrotrichum circinens. So where this phenolic theory was developed, right? Red onions are highly resistant to onion smudge disease, whereas white onions are highly susceptible because red onions contains two compounds called catechol and protocachic acid. So that theory was the phenolic theory. That is actually for this is onion smudge disease called Coltrotrichum circinens, right? Apple scab is caused by Venturia inaequalis, this pathogen, okay? Venturia inaequalis. The bacterial bite of pomegranate was first reported in India from IRA, Indian Agriculture Research Station, IRA, one of the IRA research station near New Delhi only. It was discovered by Hingaroni and one more man in 1952 probably. They first discovered the bacterial disease. It was not that much severe at the time until it's 1995. The later it started showing its severity. It was first reported from New Delhi IRI, and a vector for CTV. So citrus tristiza virus. So brown citrus aphid or citrus Toxopteris citrusida, and one more is one more vector is there, brown citrus aphid or citrus orientalifid something, Toxopteris citrusida. Citrus of citrus greening, just now we discussed, right? Psyllids. So citrus greening, psyllids, citrus tristiza virus, Toxopteris citrusida, that is citrus aphid or citrus oriental aphid generally we can call it. TMV producing amorphous or crystalline inclusion bodies are known as X bodies. Cauliflower mosaic virus producing inclusion bodies are known as amorphous bodies. Potivirus producing cylindrical inclusion bodies are known as pinwheel inclusion bodies. For understanding, I have given here some. Tobacco mosaic virus, X bodies, cauliflower mosaic virus, amorphous inclusion bodies, Zika virus, granular inclusion bodies, rhabdovirus, bullet-shaped inclusion bodies, potivirus producing a pinwheel inclusion bodies. So these are all the different kinds of inclusion bodies. First viroid disease to be completely genome sequenced. First viroid to be completely genome sequenced is potato spindle tuber viroid. Indian stem rust rules was given by Nagarajan and Singh 1975. Puccinia pathway was given by Nagarajan and Joshi in 1980. Hump-beaked iridospore is produced by the rust genera. So generally hump-beaked iridospore is produced by rust genera Hemilia, 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 which causes rust. Emilia vastatrix, coffee rust, right? The next one is the father of molecular plant pathology. Noel Keane is generally considered as father of molecular plant pathology. He is also coined the term elicitor. The term elicitor was also coined by Noel Keane. First empirical mycologist in India. E.J. Butler is generally considered as the first empirical mycologist in India. Chaubetia paste composition, 800 grams of copper sulfate, 800 grams of red lead, 1 liter of linseed or linoleum oil is the composition of Chaubetia paste. Mode of action of benzimidazole fungicide. I think this mode of actions I have mentioned already, but anyway I will tell you. Inhibits at beta tubulin biosynthesis. This benzimidazole group of fungicides will inhibit beta tubulin biosynthesis. Tulip color breaking virus belonging to the genus Potivirus. Grape fan leaf virus is transmitted by. So grape fan leaf virus is transmitted by Ziphinema index, which is actually a nematode identified by Hewitt et al. Hewitt et al. First identified this grape fan leaf virus transmission by nematode, Ziphinema index. Rice tungro virus containing the what are all the two particles, RTBV and RTSV. Rice tungro bacilliform virus, rice tungro spherical form virus. These are all the two particles. Virus which are killing the gram negative bacteria. Virus that can kill gram negative or gram positive, whatever. Don't confuse about it. Virus that is killing another bacteria is known as virus that killing another bacteria is known as bacteriophages. I thought it's Dellovibrio. Dellovibrio is different. Bacteria killing another bacteria is known as Dellovibrio. Virus killing another bacteria, whether it is a gram positive or gram negative, it's not a big deal. But just remember, virus killing that and bacteria is bacteriophages, which was discovered by Twart and Herelli individually, right? But the term bacteriophage was given by Harrell in 1917. Bacteria that infect another bacteria, just now we discussed, right? Dello vibrio. Bacteria that infect another bacteria is called Dello vibrio. That was given by Slopetel, 1962. Type of a bacterial ribosome present in bacteria. So bacteria contains a ribosome. All, not only bacteria, all prokaryotes contains ribosomes. 70s type of ribosomes. Eukaryotes contains 80s type of ribosomes. So for further more information on details, students can refer this book, A Vision into Plant Pathology, a complete student version. For further doubts, guidance and clarification, student can reach us at www.geekyresearcher.com. Stay geeky and stay tuned. We are Team Geeky Researchers.